there almost every time I find someone winning in business. So, number one, slow and steady matters. We want to see your face on the front of Slow Company magazine, not Fast Company magazine, right? Slow and steady matters. Don't outpace your resources. In the military, they teach you to not let the fighting men and women, the front lines, go beyond the bullets, beyond the food, beyond the gasoline. The supply lines have to keep up with the front lines, otherwise they get choked off and fighting to kill. And the same is true in business. You've got to keep your money, you've got to keep your people, human resources, financial resources, and tech resources these days up to par and going with you as you go forward. Do not go faster than those three things go, otherwise you get cut off from the supply chain. Slow and steady matters. Financial principles matter. Those 5 financial principles, guaranteed 100% of the time, people that are winning with money, people that are winning in business are doing those 5 financial principles. The number of people who run their businesses debt-free would amaze you. Everyone walks around acting like everybody's got debt in business and almost nobody does. It's shocking. We've never been able to get our hands on actual statistic that we believe, but let me tell you, it's well over half of the people running businesses stay completely away from debt. And so some of you have just believed it's always dead, it's always dead. It's not. There's a lot of businesses, family-owned, generationally owned, startups and everything else that run without debt, and they certainly run on a plan called a budget. So, what's the third one? People matter. That's the third principle. People matter. People matter. And if people don't matter to your organization, if you don't see people as something that matters, you have a high likelihood of failure, and truthfully, a lot of us are going to be glad. If you don't like people, you're just in it for the money, everything's a transaction for you, it's not going to make me a little bit mad if you go out of business. Not at all. And it's weird, you can walk into an ice cream store and you can tell if they're in the people business or they're in the ice cream business. You can walk into a restaurant and you can tell you're a bother to them. You ever been in a restaurant when you were bothering them? See, they're transactional. Have you ever had people that you know that aren't relational, they're transactional? Every time you see them, it's something they want. Every time you see them coming, it's because they got something they need from you. You know what I'm talking about, those kind of people? They want you to join their thing. They got an idea. They got something they want from you. They never bring anything to the party. Businesses are the same way because the DNA of the leader is going to seep through the business. The anointing drops from the beard, the Bible says. So whatever's going on at the head of the organization is going to go all through the business. People matter. Customers are people. Don't treat your customers like units of revenue. Yes, we're going to measure the accounting. Yes, we're going to keep up with the metrics per customer, per ticket, per those kind of things. That's it. That's not all about the money. That's good accounting, and that's good measuring of the business process. But at the core of that has to be that people matter. Your customers are people. Did you know everyone you come in contact with has a story? You got a story. I got a story. Someone you met that just came into your office or just called you for service. They just heard that their child is going to graduate with honors. The one they didn't think was going to make it. They just found out their mom has cancer. They got a car that just broke down for the 3rd time this week. And they're just mad. Frustrated. Their marriage is struggling. They just had their first grandbaby. Just had their first baby. Second baby. Third baby. Everything's healthy. Everybody's good. There's something going on in everyone's life. And one of my pastor friends says there's always a bucket going down. There's always a problem in your life. And there's always a bucket going up. There's always blessings in your life. It's hard to find anyone who has all their buckets going up. You're probably just in denial. You know, there's probably something going on that you just wish you could just take that and remove it from your life. Customers are people. They have dreams. They have dreams. And if you own an ice cream store or you're in the counseling business, do you need to get into what's going on with them? No. But you need to know there's only really 2 reasons to go to an ice cream store. Celebrate or medicate. Something's going on, right? Now some people just like ice cream, but generally speaking, something's going on there. And so if they treat you like you're just another dip, right? Don't let them do that. Don't do business with them. That's someone who bought a franchise opportunity and forgot that people were on the other end of the transaction. Nothing wrong with franchising. But you remember, people are on the other end of this transaction. It's a human being coming into your business. We care so much about this that I took our lobby and we had a little bookstore in there and I tore it all out and I put in a coffee shop with specialty coffees and we hired Dorothy. First we hired Martha, and it's called Martha's Place in honor of Martha. It has a plaque on the wall. Martha, she was the first one. Dorothy took her place when Martha retired. And these women are, if you ever remember the old movie or the old TV show, Leave It to Beaver, June Cleaver. So when you walk in, June Cleaver greets you. But before you ever meet Dorothy, you will, as soon as you open the door, smell freshly baked cakes and cookies, all in the air. It smells like Grandma's kitchen when you walk into our office. And the coffee smell coming out of there. And there's brown tops there, and you can sit and watch the show happen over here and look at the bookstore over here and hang out. The coffee and all the homemade baked goods are all free. Just past her is another wonderful woman named Janelle. Janelle is sitting at a desk answering phones, and she's in the position where most people would put the receptionist. But we don't have a receptionist. We have a director of first impressions. Because that's what's going on. You have smell hit you, cookie and coffee. It's not corporate. It's not an office. You're coming into our family. People matter. When people come in there for financial coaching and they're about to lose their home, that's the atmosphere they need to walk into. They're going through a bankruptcy, that's the atmosphere they need to walk into. They're celebrating because they just got a huge bonus. That's the atmosphere they need to walk into. Your customers are people. Think about them that way. My friend Rabbi Daniel Lapin, he's an Orthodox Jewish rabbi. He wrote this wonderful book called Thou Shalt Prosper. I actually wrote the foreword to it when they reissued it because I love the book so much. And he says it's a wonderful book on business. 10 reasons that Jewish people tend to prosper wherever they are. Fabulous book. One of my favorites of all time. Thou Shalt Prosper. Go get it and read it. But he says that when you serve well in the marketplace, that your customers will give you certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them. When you treat them like people and you actually care, it changes the whole thing. It changes the whole thing. Vendors that you work with, they're people. Treat them like family. I'm not talking about a casual vendor, but I've got vendors that we've done business with for 10 years. We buy about this year probably $30 million worth of printing of all kinds of different things, not from one place, but I mean everything from books to workbooks to everything. I mean, we get massive amounts of printing that we do because we have a lot of hard product that we put out. And so we deal with a lot of those people. I've got vendors that we have dealt with that have sourced that stuff and done that stuff for years. When they come in the lobby, they come into Martha's Place and Dorothy brings them out a cup of coffee during the commercial break. I'm out. I know them. And one of them, they call me and he's in financial trouble. And I don't do one-on-one financial coaching. Even for my best friends, I hook them up with our team to do it because they're much more equipped than I am. But I called one of our top counselors down, one of our top coaches down to sit in my office. And I pulled that guy aside and we sat in there and spent about an hour going through what had happened and where he could possibly go. And then my coach will take him from there and make sure it gets done. But this guy's a guy we've had a relationship with for a long time. I know him better than some of the people that work for me. Okay, they've been there 3 months. So vendors are people. You don't have to put them all out of business by negotiating all their profits away. If I want a good deal, I'm going to get a good deal. Period. And I expect service, and I expect the quality to be there. I expect it to be on time when I'm dealing with them. Excellence has to be there, but there's a relationship that's going on here. These are people. Team members are people. They're not units of production. The team that you lead of 5 to 10 that directly report to you, you should know their spouses, their kids. You should know what's going on with their spouses, with their kids. You should have eaten dinner in their home. They should have eaten dinner in your home. These are people. I got 400, almost 500 folks. There's no possible way that I'm doing that one-on-one with all of them. But my operating board, that's my 6 people that I work with every day, that are our EVPs and our C-suiters that run the place. I know everything about them. They know everything about me. They know what's going on that's good, what's going on that's bad, everything in each other's lives. And I expect them to know that about their team, and I expect their leaders to know that about their team. You better pastor your people. You better know what's going on. Well, I'm not in a touchy-feely business. I'm in the construction business. You think people aren't in the construction business? You think a guy that swings a hammer when his wife gets cancer doesn't have the exact same feelings? Don't be so stupid. These are people. These are people. Treat them like it. You know why no one is loyal to corporate America? Because corporate America is not loyal to the people. Some of you started your business because you got pooped on. You walked out of that place and said, never again. I'm never going to be in a place like that. So I vow that we're not going to have a place like that. We're going to be a little raw, we're going to be a little uncomfortable, we're going to be a little awkward, but we're going to love people in the process. Period. They matter. Dr. Benjamin Zander is the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra. Did a TED Talk a while back, and I'm going to pull just a little bit out of that. I want you to get your pencils ready because there's about 3 one-liners in here you're never going to want to forget. Watch this.
Now, I had an amazing experience. I was 45 years old. I've been conducting for 20 years, and I suddenly had a realization. The conductor of an orchestra doesn't make a sound. My picture appears on the front of the CD. But the conductor doesn't make a sound. He depends for his power on his ability to make other people powerful. And that changed everything for me. It was totally life-changing. People in my orchestra came up to me and said, "Ben, what happened?" That's what happened. I realized my job was to awaken possibility in other people. And of course I wanted to know whether I was doing that. And you know how you find out? You look at their eyes. If their eyes are shining, you know you're doing it. You could light up a village with this guy's eyes. Right. So if the eyes are shining, you know you're doing it. If the eyes are not shining, you have to ask a question. And this is the question. Who am I being that my player's eyes are not shining? We can do that with our children too. Who am I being that my children's eyes are not shining? That's a totally different world. Now we're all about to end this magical on the mountain week, and we're going back into the world. And I say it's appropriate for us to ask the question, who are we being as we go back out into the world? And you know, I have a definition of success. For me, it's very simple. It's not about wealth and fame and power. It's about how many shining eyes I have around me. Get mine. Competitors are people. You do not have to destroy your competitors in order to win.
Now, I'm competitive. I love sports. I'm competitive. I like to win. And I will measure things and see how I'm doing to whether I win. But you do not have to destroy your competitors. Some people have this, they're like psychopaths about their competitors. They think they have to not only put them out of business, they want all their family members killed. I mean, it's crazy the way people get about this. Now, there's a difference between competitive and just being crazy, right? I mean, be competitive. Let me help you with this. When it comes to business, I don't know how long you've been in business, but this I'm 100% sure of. If you will come to work every day and work really hard all day long and go home tired, and you will do that for a period of time, you will beat 80% of the people. Most people just won't do that. If you will tell the truth while you're at work every day and work hard all day long and always tell the truth, 100% of the time tell the truth, all day long, you will beat another 15% of them. Somewhere around 85, 95% of the competitors can be beaten by telling the truth and working hard. Most people just can't even do that. If you'll just do that, it's simple. You will beat most of your competitors. You will outlast them. Talk radio, I've noticed it all these years, they have all these people, so-and-so's going to come on the scene and he's going to take over talk radio. He's going to be the next Rush Limbaugh. Whoa! And they don't know that doing a 3-hour talk radio show every day. When you got the flu, nobody cares if you got the flu. You better not sound like you got the flu. When you're tired because you've been on the road, nobody cares about your problems. They're not listening to you about your problems. When you have a pity party, there's only one person that attends. And these guys find out that doing a 3-hour radio show is about like doing 8 hours worth of work because you pour out that much energy, you pour out that much focus, that much intensity. Most people who do that don't do anything else. And they find out this is work at the end of the day. And unless something else is driving them that's more noble than just money, they don't make it 3 years. Even